Humans. So this is a follow-up to the last video I did, which was Racism Dies One Funeral at a Time. I went to the website of this city, this small town actually in Mississippi that I referenced, where I used to visit during the summer and visit with my relatives. And I was just curious to see how things had changed and to give myself a bit more resolution on kind of, the state of the union in this small town in 2024. And, the whole point of the first video was to show that there is actually progress. In spite of all the stuff that we often hear in social media about all of the conflict and struggle and anger and disappointment and hurt and pain and all that kind of stuff, all which is none of it should surprise us, right? Because that's kind of part of being human. But the extent to which that dominates the kind of conversation about race in America, very distorting. Again, we're looking at social media is a funhouse mirror on reality. It distorts everything. So please keep an asterisk above what you see on social media and always be asking yourself, is it true? Am I certain it's true? It's easy to find out. Yeah. So I went to this website and I found out that the population is around 1,500 people. And I looked at their police force. Their police force is now led by a black man. And the police force has about 10 officers in it, and one white officer. The police force has about 10 officers on its force. Among those 10, 9 of them are black, and one is white. So, a black police chief and a black police force. That was not the case back in the early 70s. That is a remarkable change based on my experience. Good for everybody. All right, everybody there, and good for all of us that even in the most challenging, deep South, that's what it's looking like. I looked at the rest of the website about the City Hall, and there are a number of black employees now in City Hall that I'm sure were not there at the time when I was visiting. Across the entire town government, there are representatives. There are a couple of ward representatives, one who has been there for representing his ward for over 20 years, I believe, black man. The other man is a younger man, but still presence, influence. This is progress. And it's important to take note of the progress, okay? So I wanted to make mention of that just as a follow-up. The other thing that I want to, make abundantly clear, whenever I do these videos, it's almost always off the top of my head. There is no script. I'm just, normally I'll think about something that I feel I want to talk about, and then I just kind of let it flow. And it's really difficult to include everything that you could or would want to say, especially when it comes to talking about your family. The family that I love, the family that brought me in as a young, mixed race kid and just treated me like their own, who taught me how to do things for the first time that I had never done in my life before. They taught me I learned how to hunt. I learned how to gig a frog. I wasn't particularly good at any of those things, but I learned how to do it. All right. I learned a lot of things. I learned how to ride a horse bareback. That's a story for another day. My cousins had a good time with that. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what it's like to be a city mouse in in a country mouse environment, but I learned so many things, so many life lessons that were modeled to me beyond just the use of the N-word. Of all the conversations that I ever heard, the N-word may have constituted 0.01% of all the words that were said. It wasn't like we weren't in, my family wasn't in pickup trucks riding around with rebel flags and terrorizing people. No. Don't get it twisted, all right? This word was used. It was part of the culture. It still is part of the culture among certain people. But to categorize these loving and beautiful people who are as flawed as you are, and as flawed as I am, to categorize them just kind of with a broad brushstroke of racist and just not worth. No. That would be a terrible injustice to identify humans as complex as we are with a single, admittedly, less than desirable behavior, using the N-word. I doubt they use it a fraction as much as they used to in their older age now. It's just my guess. Things have changed. The meal that I talked about sharing with my young black friend Jeff in my home in Columbus, and I mentioned that was something that my parents may have never done. Well, here we are, 45 years later. I bet there are a few more meals that are being shared between white and black people in that town. I bet they're sitting down even in restaurants and sometimes getting together at barbecues and all kinds of things that would just not have happened back in the day. Things change. They're happening slowly, but if good people continue to remain committed and passionate about the cause of justice in all of its forms, justice for humans. We'll keep on getting better. We'll keep on getting stronger, but we've got to keep our eye on the ball. And seeing progress like I'm reporting now is just good fuel for the fire. All right? Keep pushing. Peace.